guys, how's it going? In today's video, I want to talk about bulbs because I just got through placing my order for this year's bulbs. Last year, I placed an enormous order with Color Blends. It's the very first time I have ordered from them, and I had such great luck. And so I just got my catalog from them. I have it actually in front of me, and we are going to partner with them on a bulb planting video later on, coupled with a giveaway. So be waiting for that one. But I thought that we would just do a video talking about different varieties because now is the time you need to really start thinking about it, because oftentimes if you wait too late, then you can't get the bulbs that you really want, like the varieties that you really want. So anyway, I just want to go through what I planted last year because we did get some great pictures and video of those areas and I was just so happy with it. And then I will go through all of the ones that I ordered this year. Okay, so the first area is underneath our weeping willow tree by our Hebe statue. I planted 600 of a white blend mix. So it was a mix of 3 different varieties of white tulip that started out kind of a creamy yellow, really light creamy yellow, and aged to white. And the wonderful part about the blends like that, the cubed blends, is that they are timed to where you kind of get 3 consecutive bloom periods. So you get a really long bloom time out of that blend. And it was absolutely gorgeous. I think it was so pretty because at that time of the year, the weeping willow branches had kind of a yellowness to them. And then that pale yellow of the tulips, like it blended so beautifully. I really loved it. The other white blend that I planted was called Vidal. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I planted 500 of those near our fireplace, kind of behind a boxwood hedge. And that was also a blend of different colors of white. And this one was, I actually ordered more of this one this year for this next year to plant in a different area, but it had some really unique white varieties in it. It had one that had a green stripe. It had one that had a fringed edge. And there was like a clear white one. It was just so beautiful. And I think it was extra pretty because it was contrasted with the glossy green, like that deep green of the boxwoods. The next blend I planted was called Pinatage. And I planted that one behind our chicken coop. And I think that was, I want to say like every area was glorious because I think every area was. They were all so pretty, but that area was fairly new. I mean, you guys know we took out a Leyland cypress arch that was back there, and then we built the pallet walkway and we put a pineapple fountain back there, and we've just been slowly adding plants to that area, and putting 600 of this Pinatage blend back there was amazing. It was a mix of like a kind of a lipstick fuchsia pink and a pink that had a green stripe, and it was more of a like pointy petaled tulip. It's probably got a name to it. There was a deep burgundy one in there. It was just such a fun blend back there, and it made me want to drive slow because it kind of is right by our driveway area, but I wanted to drive really slow by that area, and I took tons of pictures, and it bloomed for a really long time. And then by our angel statue, I planted 100 Akebono tulips, huge double pale yellow tulips that have kind of like a blush red on the edge of each tulip. And the lighting right there is really pretty anyway. Like in the very first part of the morning, it gets kind of that perfect morning light, and then it's in kind of dappled shade, and then in the evening it gets that really beautiful light again, and it just kind of shined through those petals and made those flowers look like they were glowing. And the last variety of tulip I planted was called Clearwater, which was the perfect white tulip. I planted those in a way I really loved. So those were up in our front flower bed, kind of in the corner area where we have a big lilac, and I planted them in kind of groups. Instead of just one big drift, I did a group of 10 here, a group of 15 there, and kind of scattered them like that throughout the bed, and I really loved that, and I think that's something I'm going to repeat a little bit more this year. I did order a couple of different varieties of allium. So the first one was Globemaster. I ordered 100 of those. Actually, in the beginning, I ordered 50 because I thought that I could put 25 in each one of our boxwood formations in our back formal garden. I thought that was going to be enough, and when I got out there, you know, it's crazy how much you need to fill up a space. And that's why I was drawn to color blends, because you can order big amounts, like 600 of something or 500 for a really reasonable cost, I think. And so I started with the 50 Globemasters, I planted them, and then I ordered 50 more. So I ended up with 100 total back there, and they were beautiful. And the thing I like about those is that they bloom after your tulips and daffodils are already done. So you just kind of extend that bloom time, kind of like before your summer annuals start, you know, kicking it into gear. You've got these beautiful big purple blooms back there. Now, my boxwood hedges were a little taller than I kind of thought, and I think the Globemasters, and I don't know if this is how it works, but I'm hoping after they're a little bit more established that they grow a little taller. Some of them did, and you could see them over the boxwood hedge, but a lot of them were like kind of right at that level. So we'll see what happens this year, but I am ordering more alliums to go in that area, which I'll talk about here in a minute. But the other kind of allium I ordered last year was called a drumstick allium, and I've got it here. It's Allium sphaerocephalon. I don't know. I think that's how it's listed, but I know them as drumstick alliums, and they're just little purple blooms that bloom really late. I put those kind of by our pergola where we planted the summerific berryosum hibiscus, and they were a really pretty show, and they're really great in cut arrangements. And the last couple of things I planted were daffodils. So the first kind are like Ehrlichier, I think is what they're called, and I planted those underneath our birch tree, and I planted how many? 100. And they were stinky. They were the type of daffodil, narcissus, that are like a paper white. Some people really like the smell of them, and some people really don't. And you know, I think though that they acted almost as an aphid deterrent. I don't know if that's a thing, but they bloomed so late in the season that my columbine, which I have planted there as a perennial, had come up, and by that time of the year they're usually covered in aphids already, and I didn't have a single aphid on my columbines this year while I had them everywhere else in my garden. So I don't know if those deter aphids or if that was just kind of a one-off thing, but I left them. I had told everybody, I told you guys I was going to dig those up and move them somewhere else because of the smell, because it's pretty close to our house, but I'm going to leave them and see what happens this next year. I mean, if nothing else, they are beautiful. I mean, they're huge clusters of blooms, and they're really delicate looking, creamy white. There's nothing like more beautiful than that color to me. The smell was just a little weird. And then I planted, I think, 25 Avalon daffodils back by our pallet walkway. And those were really interesting because I've planted a lot of white daffodils, you know, with maybe a colorful center. These were more yellow. So they were yellow on the outside and then kind of turned into a creamy whitish color in the center. So it was kind of a reverse, and that was really fun. And that's always something when the daffodils are blooming, I always kick myself for not having ordered a whole bunch more. And I think I kind of did the same thing this year. I ordered a little bit, but I always order more tulips for some reason. So anyway, that was what last year's bulb order was. I think I planted, oh no, I forgot. There was one other, there was, they were trout lilies. So I've never grown a trout lily before. So I ordered 25 of them. I planted them underneath our pine trees, kind of by where my Empress Wu hostas are. And they were the most sweet little flowers. They come out with these really long kind of green leaves. They're shorter, smaller type plants, but the kind of long green leaves, and then this little stem that comes out with a little like yellow flower that's kind of downturned. And they just did so great, and they bloomed for a long time. So I ordered a whole bunch more of those for this next year. It's always fun. I always try to add in one or two things that I've never grown before in terms of like group of plant. I always try new varieties of stuff within like tulips or daffodils, but planting something completely new is always fun. But I usually only start with a small amount just so I make sure that they like our climate. Okay, so for this year's order, I'm not going to tell you where everything's going to go, just because I want there to be a little mystery and something fun to share with you guys when we actually do our bulb planting video. But like I said, I did order some other alliums to go in the back formal garden in with my Globemasters. I ordered an allium called Ambassador, and I chose that one because it grows taller than the Globemasters. And I thought if those Globemasters never actually reach the height that I kind of want them to be, I'll have the Ambassadors come up and be my height, and then I'll have another layer a little bit shorter of the Globemasters. It'll look really dimensional and I think really beautiful in the end. And they're a really beautiful deep purple allium. But I did order 100 other Globemaster alliums to go in a different spot in my garden that I'm going to plant in a great big drift, because I kind of love that whimsy. The whimsical look of those alliums are just so awesome. And the other two I mentioned that I did order more of are trout lilies, so I ordered 200 of those to amp up that area because they just did so well, and it kind of fits in perfect. They look like a woodland type plant, and being underneath the pine tree, kind of where there's, I mean, I've got hostas and some Hakanakloa grasses and things like that, it just feels a little bit more rustic and mountain-esque. if you can imagine that in our garden, but it kind of has that feel over there. So I think the trout lilies fit in really well. And I ordered 1,000 of the Vidal tulip blend, and I'm going to plant those somewhere amazing, and I think they're going to be really, really pretty. But that blend was just so gorgeous that I had to repeat it. So for other tulips this year, I ordered a blend called Gamay, and I ordered, I believe, 600 of those, and it's a mix of pinks and purples. There's 2 pinks, 2 purples, and 2 mauves, and they bloom like mid to late, and they bloom kind of in increments again. So you kind of have this really long wave of different blooms coming out. And I think with those 600, I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to put those, but I might do those in groups, kind of how I did the Clearwaters, and do like 100 here, 50 there, and kind of make it look a little bit more natural. It kind of depends though on where I decide to put those. A couple other ones, I ordered 100 Avalon. I wish I was better at knowing all these names, but we'll put them on the screen probably. This is a double pink, and I did order more of the Belle Epoque tulips. I actually ordered those through Eden Brothers. It's the only place I could find them. So I ordered 100 more of those to kind of amp up the kitchen flower bed, which I'm staring at right now. But the Avalon is a little bit more of a pink instead of more of that like mauve-y kind of dusty pink color. This one's more clear pink, and I thought that would be a fun one to have because I love to have different colors of tulips for cutting. And then I did order 100 of a tulip called Big Apricot, which is one of my faves. I really like the apricot color in really any flower, but these are just a classic tulip shape. They're great big blooms, and they're just, I think that type of tulip looks extra good just in a bouquet all by itself. And for daffodils, I have 100 coming called Acropolis, and they're a really pretty double daff. So they're kind of a white with orange segments kind of buried in the center almost. So it's not like a clear orange center. You kind of almost have to look on the inside for it, if that makes sense. I hope we have some good pictures of that to show you. But I thought that would be a really pretty one to put somewhere out in the garden. And then the other ones I ordered are 2 that I am not as familiar with. So there's 200 called Snowflake, which have beautiful snowdrop looking flowers, but they come on like a taller stalk. I'm going to read you a little bit of a description on this one. Small white bells line arching stems. Snowflake prefers full sun but tolerates some shade, which is awesome because, you know, our tulips and daffodils, they need fairly sunny areas, and then you run out pretty quick of areas when you're planting so many of all those. So getting some things that can tolerate some light shade is really great. It says they're deer and rodent proof. Anyway, I just think that they're so pretty, and can you imagine those in a cut arrangement? Having that kind of bell shape just worked in. I think that's going to be so pretty. And the other ones that I ordered are called Snake's Head. I ordered 200 of those. I actually have a few in our back formal garden from the previous owner. It's like a little patch, and they come up with these checkerboard looking downturned bell shaped flowers in kind of a purplish color. I mean, it's in that family, but they're so unique looking. I would love just to plant those in the same spot that the other ones are and just kind of like really amplify that display back there. So that's it for this year's bulb order. Most of them are coming from color blends. The Belle Epoques are coming from Eden Brothers, and then I will most definitely be picking some up from my parents' garden center because they always bring in some really fun ones. And I love just to go down there and stand in front of the boxes, like the bulk boxes, and just pick up, you know, 20 of this and that and pop them in if I'm not too tired from planting all of these bulbs. It's usually like a couple day project in the fall, but it's worth every bit of the effort. I mean, every bit of it. When we're craving that color in the springtime, I always am so like kind of proud of myself for following through and doing all that work because we get so much enjoyment out of it in the spring. And I just thought it would be good to share my order with you just so you guys could start thinking about it and start looking around. We'll link Color Blends down below so you can go check out some of their stuff. And that way maybe you can get your hands on the varieties that you want. And like I said, we are doing a giveaway later on, so be watching for that because it's going to be a pretty awesome one. I'm excited about it. And actually the very last thing I did want to mention, when you're ordering bulbs really from anywhere, they typically will take your order and then they don't send it to you until it's like proper time for you to be planting. So I have my order in, but I won't get the bulbs until probably sometime in September when the weather has cooled down. So it's not like they send the bulbs when it's still really hot and then you have to figure out where to store them where it's okay and, you know, proper temperatures and all that. So it's really kind of nice. They just kind of show up when it's a good time. So I just wanted to mention that. So that's it for today's video. I just thought it would be fun to run through the bulbs because I always get really excited about them. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Bye.